I feel awful for even asking him not to go and incredibly selfish, as his daughter is important, and I never want to get in the way of their relationship. But I'm terrified of going into labor when he's not there. He's made it clear that he's going no matter what and is implying I'm being unreasonable for asking him otherwise. I don't know, perhaps I'm being selfish. Part of the reason I'm so scared is that I'm unlikely to last the week. I've been having a hard time with the pregnancy and am classified as high risk due to being diabetic. Also, for those wondering, I'm set to be induced due to my diabetes. It's going to happen on Saturday, which is why he's coming back on Friday, but I don't think I'll last that long. Update 1. Hey everyone, I want to thank you all for your comments. They were very helpful. My doctor ended up deciding I needed an emergency C-section on Wednesday. My best friend is an absolute saint and went with me to the hospital. She wasn't allowed in the room, so she spent that entire time trying to get in touch with my husband, but we only managed to contact him after our daughter was born. Once he knew that she and I were healthy and fine, he didn't want to fly back. He said we were fine now, and the competition still hadn't happened, so there was no point in upsetting his daughter. He said he'd be flying back on Friday anyway. I was rather worn out and numb at this point, so I didn't argue, though my friend called him every swear word she could think of. What hurt the most, though, is that he didn't ask for a single picture of our daughter or request to Zoom to see her. On Friday morning, he told me he'd be missing his flight back as he felt under the weather and didn't want to risk bringing back anything like COVID. I admit this broke me a little. When I asked him if he didn't want to come home, he told me I was being ridiculous. At this point, I had enough. I told him to come back whenever he felt like it, but I'd be staying with my friend and the baby when I got out of the hospital, as I needed to think about some things. She had been trying to get me to stay with her anyway, so I knew it would be fine with her. He simply told me that was fine and to come back when I'd stopped my hissy fit. I'm done. Not once has he asked to see our daughter or shown concern for either of us following the emergency C-section. I grew up in foster care, and I know firsthand that a mother alone is better than no one. I'm not going to try to make things work just for her sake. My best friend and her parents are currently at my home, gathering all my things and the baby's things to move them to my friend's home. I've also decided on the baby's name, Violet. I initially wanted to name her Violet after my best friend, Vi, but my husband shot the name down immediately when we found out I was having a girl, as he thought it was an old lady's name. But honestly, it doesn't matter what he thinks, because I couldn't have done any of this without her. So yeah, that's where I am right now, in a whole lot of pain emotionally and physically, but I have my little girl in my arms. I'll likely be talking to some lawyers soon to figure out what to do going forward. Thank you again, everyone. You've all helped a great deal. Update 2. Hi everyone, sorry I didn't post sooner. I debated on posting an update, but I figured I should, as I know many of you were worried or curious. This will likely be my last update, but thank you all. Violet and I are doing well, all things considered. My friend has been a godsend, and we're still staying with her. She's even been talking about the two of us looking for a bigger place together, as this isn't ideal for a baby as Violet gets older. We're currently staying in a tiny guest room at my friend's place. You're probably wondering about my husband. I've been in contact with a lawyer and have filed for divorce. I reached out to his ex, offering to send pictures of Violet for her daughter, as my soon-to-be ex-husband hasn't been interested in seeing any. It seems they've gotten back together, as many of you suspected. You were right. He still hasn't seen Violet and shows no interest in doing so. My lawyer has all the messages and evidence that could be useful in the divorce and in determining Violet's custody, though I doubt there will be any issue with me having full custody given that he hasn't even wanted to see a picture of her. Now, about Violet's surname and birth certificate, she has my surname, and he isn't on the birth certificate. He's not acting like a father and has no interest in her, it seems. So yeah, thanks again, everyone. I will be doing my best for my beautiful baby girl.